want to be on the show and you have some healthy tips or you're in the healthcare world, get in touch with me because you can be on my show and we can Zoom you in. That's the beauty of it. And I've known Lady Ray J, for several years. I used to be her doctor in residence on one of her radio shows in Ferguson, Missouri. And now she's moved on to bigger and better things. And she is a wonderful, very famous, notorious, lovely TV and radio personality out of St. Louis, Missouri. And I am so glad you are here.
Oh, thank you so much. My goodness. I was like, what's she talking about?
It's all for you, Ray J.
It's all for you, Ray J. You know, I appreciate you taking the time out to enlighten our guests enlighten our friends and our viewers about staying healthy and keeping your balance. Personally today, I was having ADD problems this morning. I was trying to get Ray J the whole thing on Facebook this morning, and I got to take a shower. No, I got to do this. No, I got to do this. I finally got it. I talked around the phone. I was like, I got to get back to doing this. And it took me forever to get back. And I don't know if it was jet lag still, because I don't do jet lag well, and I might still be suffering from a little bit of jet lag. We're working on my book earlier this week. I worked on that.
It's just having all of the hats that you wear, Marilyn.
I know.
You know, and being able to multitask.
I know.
Which
and
is
I
why
only
we
have
need
one
this
head
call.
and I have all these hats, you know.
That's why we need this topic tonight.
Yeah, staying healthy. So, Ray J, what are your bullet points? How do you stay healthy?
Well, it's a challenge, number one, because as you said, you are always juggling everything that you're trying to do. You're one person, but you've got like 8 to 12 arms trying to manage everything. It's a challenge, but it's doable. So I have had to learn how to, one, say no.
Mm-hmm. And no, you know something? No is a complete sentence. What part
no
of no
is
do
a
you
complete
understand?
sentence. No, that's it. And I had to get comfortable with myself to say no.
Mm-hmm.
No, I cannot be at your event. No, I am not able to do this on Facebook or check this out or watch this video at this time. No, I cannot go and do this, that, or what have you. So I had to make myself be comfortable. And the only way that I could do that is to do it. Mm-hmm. There's not a try. Yes. Try is dying. So there's no trying, you do.
Right.
And so I did. And even number two, taking the opportunity to escape. Mm-hmm. I manage my own internet radio station, and then I'm an on-air personality at an FM station locally. And I was tired. I had been going since August of last year when I joined that team. And here it was April, and I've only had maybe 1 or 2 breaks. And we're on every Saturday for 3 hours, 9 to noon. I'll give a shout out to Mix 99.5 FM.
Yeah, because I try to watch it on Saturdays when you got it online.
So our show, the show that I do with Dallas Jameson, that was with me in Ferguson, is Saturday Morning Live. And I needed a break. I just had to. So I talked to my VP and let him know I had some things I had to take care of, and I was not going to be available for a show in April. And he said, fine, because I gave him like almost a month notification. And I detached that day. That's the third thing. So no, find some time in your schedule for yourself. And then when you do, detach from social media. So I detached from my phone. I have a home phone. So in the event of an emergency, my family would have to reach me via a home phone.
Yeah, your landline.
Exactly. I turned my cell phone off. So I was not tempted to look and see what everybody was doing, because I'm a mama bear like that. Yeah. I will monitor what everybody is doing, and I'm texting and no. So I knew for me, it was a total cold turkey, turn off everything. And I actually got an opportunity to read a novel that I had been wanting to read, 35 chapters, over 400 pages. And even though it was for work, it was a book that I was really interested in consuming. And I had the opportunity to do that and was excited by it. And it took me to a whole nother dimension. So I found something that I wanted to focus on that was relaxing and enjoyable for me.
That's good.
So that would be the next thing that you'd have to do.
Right. What I do is I put things on my calendar. I put my me time on my calendar. The other thing I've been doing, I've been investing in me, which is important.
Absolutely.
Because if you don't invest in you, you're not going to grow. And I have gone out of my comfort zone, and I've been so far out of my comfort zone, I can't find my way back. But that's okay, because that has also helped me with my balance. Knowing that I'm way out there, I got to make sure that I'm centered so I can continue my day.
And we really teach people
because
too.
Scheduling would be the next thing that you would need to do.
Right. Well, that's what I do. I schedule.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it's up to us to teach people how to treat us.
Right.
And oftentimes we get so worried about what people think about us. And one of my mottos is, what people think of me is really none of my business. You know, and it's not to be rude, but it's that I can't please everybody. So I have to focus on what is important to me. And just as you told your VP that you needed that time off, you probably pondered how he was going to respond. But when we ask for what we want, we get it. Because people understand this is important to her, and if we matter to them, they hear us, and so we treat them we teach them how to treat us.
And that's exactly right. My schedule has to be respected. My time has to be respected, but it won't be if I don't teach people how to do that.
Yes,
right.
I'm giving in to whatever it is that they want, which means that I'm neglecting self. And so I couldn't do that. Now, I didn't do it on my own. I had assistance. So I would have help from my friends, particularly Eric Weathersby, who is in radio with me. And he would take my phone to make sure that I didn't have access to it. He would screen any messenger message that anybody was sending me and let them know that we were not available. I was unavailable, who the next person in command would be to seek. So they had to respect that schedule. And I gave them a heads up. I said, I will not be able to be contacted until Monday morning. So I gave myself that weekend. I did not go back on it. And I was glad that I did, because I became more rested. So you can sleep. But sleep doesn't always mean rest.
No. That's right.
And rest does not mean sleep.
Right.
And so my mind was so cluttered and jumbled with the next event, the next project, the next person to contact, the next schedule, that I couldn't rest at night. I would be asleep, but I was constantly planning. And I became weary, physically, emotionally, spiritually. And once it started draining me, and I'm a cancer survivor, so I still have a lot of residual effects from all of the treatment that I've been through. I could feel it physically in my body really starting to do harm to me because I had no energy. I felt like I was getting to a state of depression where I didn't even want to get up in bed. I didn't want to talk. I didn't want to see daylight. So having a degree in counseling and a background in psychology and also nursing, I'm looking at the psychophysiological effects of what's going on with me. And so I had to physician heal thyself by just doing some of those simple things. They sound so simple, but they're so important. And I had to learn by that experience that I need to schedule those types of things more.
Right.
So my son got me a massage.
There you go. I went and got a massage yesterday because I needed to do for me. Because if you're not feeling up to your capacity, what you can do, you can't help other people. You can't help people if your own vessel is just empty. If you have no energy, you can't help anybody else, and you certainly can't help yourself.
No.
And it makes it hard.
And we really are the responsible persons for ourselves. And like you, Ray J, I've had 3 cancer diagnoses, and so I'm very aware of how stress affects the body and being in tune to our body. So my week in Mexico last week, the first day there was massage, reflexology, tuning out and just tuning in and making myself that priority. And, carving out some time every day that's about me. My normal day is my phone does not go on until 10 a.m. because I need that morning time just for me to be centered and have my gratitude time, my prayer time. But if I don't, then the day is crazy. So, we have to be mindful because you don't want anyone to get to that place where a dis-ease makes you stop to pay attention. Do it before the disease sets in.
Right, because it can catch you before you know it. And then you're in bed
ahead of the stress.
That's right.
Yep.
And you're back in bed and you can't do anything. When I was in California a couple weeks ago, I left 2 weeks ago today. Yeah, and I took a 5:40 a.m. flight out there so I could get out there by 10:30. I'm not doing that again. That was almost as bad as taking a red eye.
Wow.
So I had trouble with jet lag, and I had to be over at my son's house at 7:30 in the morning, and we would go over to the hospital to take care of Banner, my grandson, who's still in the hospital, and we'd have to scrub our arms and sing happy birthday for a minute, while we did that up to our elbows, and we had to put... Yeah, you have to scrub. I mean, you got to go in there. You are spick and span, I'll tell you. And when you go in, before you go in there, you grab a pillowcase. You got to put all your stuff in a pillowcase. So I put my phone in there, my purse. If I had a jacket, I put that in there. Really, you took all that stuff off. And for those couple hours that we were there, I didn't use my phone because once it's in there, you can't get it out.
No.
Because of it
has to be a sterile environment. It has to be a
sterile environment. And he was in isolation because he had some issues. So, you have to be very careful with that. But I had the opportunity to hold him too. And it was
that was a blessing.
Oh my gosh, that was such a blessing. And I said to my son, I said, so how do I hold him? He says, it's called swaddling, Mom. I was like, really? How do you swaddle? You know what he said? You hold him like a burrito. That's exactly what he said. Huh. And that's what I did. But when you sit down, because he's hooked up to all this stuff, you sit there. You sit there and you don't move, while he's getting his feeding tube and everything. So the last night I was there, I sat there for almost an hour and 45 minutes.
Wow.
And by that time, my butt was sound asleep. Sound asleep. I had to get up and just wiggle around just to wake it up,
Right,
But it was so healthy for him. It was so healthy for me.
Oh, yes.
The love that you feel with a little baby who weighs not even 3 pounds because he was a preemie. It's the love, the absolute love you give and that he receives is absolutely phenomenal. So, the jet lag was like, okay, it's no big deal because I get to spend time with not only my
son, a trade-off,
but my daughter-in-law and my little grandbaby, And that's important.
Real important.
Yeah, and I savored every one of those moments.
That's time you can't go back and get.
No, you can't. Those moments you can't go back. Like on Mother's Day, the day before I walked, we did the 3.1 mile race, the Komen race. Only we wound up walking it, but we still did it in the heat, in the humidity, and with my 2 daughters and 3 of my grandsons. And it took us an hour and a half to do. And then the next day, I wanted to go to Lewis Ginter Botanical Gardens because that's what I do on Mother's Day. And I brought Jacob with me, my grandson, because he's gone with me every year.
Is and nobody. Still the butterflies?
Oh no, we didn't go see the butterflies.
Okay,
no, we went down.
Origami.
The origami.
No.
I like the Legos better the year before.
Yeah.
But I didn't get a chance to look at all the origami because I was with him. We went down to the sprinklers and he ran around in the sprinklers and got
That's
wet
fun.
and he had a blast.
Yeah.
You know, and those are the moments that help me feel better about myself, that keep me going, that keep me healthy, that help me with my balance, you know, and balance my day out, balance my health out. You got to do fun things, you know, just not tell somebody, okay, you know, I'm not working for so many days, or, you know, you got to find some fun things, you know, and I'm sure you find fun things to do when you go out. If you've got your microphone or you're doing I've seen you do Facebook Lives before where you walk into somebody's little shop and they've got all this cute jewelry and, you know, I mean, that's way cool, you know, and you're making somebody else feel important.
Right. And, you know, that is a lot of fun for me. I'm in my element then.
Yeah, you are.
Because I'm interviewing and I'm having so much fun putting the spotlight on someone else and letting people know who they are and where they are. I am phenomenal at networking. I love to marry concepts and people together and ideas together. And so that is fun for me. So that part never feels like work. But I started learning to be mindful of, I still have to slow down. You can't overindulge even in fun. You know, some people schedule so much when they go on vacation, they need a vacation after the vacation.
That's right. That's why I haven't gone on a vacation for a while, you know? So, I mean, what I do is I knit. You know, I knitted this hat. I knitted this hat for my little banner. Everybody says, well, it's small. Well, his head isn't much bigger than an orange, so I'm going to send this out to him tomorrow. And even though he's in California, he still needs to have a warm head because he's little. Exactly. But he does have some hair on his head, believe it or not, which is kind of cool. So I knitted this. So that's what, you know, I knit. That's what I do for my relaxation. You know, I just go and I knit.
What do you do for your relaxation, Ray J?
Well, I like to decorate. And so a lot of times you may think that's work, but I like to really change up my perspective and change what my view looks like. And I'll even go into stores just to look at stuff to get an idea on how to maybe repurpose something that I already have.
Okay.
So talking on the phone about anything other than work is fun for me. Reconnecting with people that I haven't spoken with in a while. So I think that whole connection with people is what's fun for me. I get together with my godmom and sister and we'll binge watch something on television together, or we'll sit on the back and have refreshments and just talk about girly stuff, you know, and just enjoy the fact that we're women and we're different generations of women and we enjoy one another. That to me is what's really fun and relaxing for me. So I retreat to that as often as I can.
My retreat is a rocking chair on my back porch. And it has, it's enclosed, a screened-in porch, but that's my retreat. And when I'm in that rocking chair with my journal or some tea or coffee or whatever, but just to, that or being in nature, you know, because I want to be close to God's presence and to kind of feel that reconnection. So, you know, anything outdoors and the rocking chair generally because I could sit there in the wintertime, even when it was snowing outside, and be in nature.
Isn't it cold in your
fireplace back there?
Yeah, it'd be cold, but I could put a coat on.
Yeah, you can
I'd put a coat on. I'd have a coat and a hat on, but I'd still be sitting outside in my rocking chair because that fresh air and just to feel that I was in tune to nature would make the difference, you know. And the snow might be coming through the screen, but it felt good. So
I have a couple of quotes I'd like to mention if you don't. If you're okay. Okay, so, you know, we've been talking about wellness and balance. And a lot of people will equate what we do as being successful. And I recall Bill Cosby was asked a question of what is your definition of success? Because people love to ask that question when they feel that the person that they're speaking with or interviewing has arrived.
Yeah.
And so he said, I don't know what the definition of success is, but the definition of failure is trying to please everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, that quote, it makes a lot of sense because you can't and you will fail. One other quote I'm going to read is actually from Chris Carr. And Chris says, if you don't think your anxiety, depression, sadness, and stress impact your physical health, think again. All of these emotions trigger chemical reactions in your body, which can lead to inflammation and a weakened immune system. Learn how to cope, sweet friend. There's always going to be dark days.
Yep.
So coping, I think, is the key point about keeping at bay stress. And we don't think about stress causing inflammation or affecting our immune system. But it does.
It does. You know, 90% of the people, and I've said this on my show before, 90% of the people who go to the doctor, the reason why they're sick is because they're not handling their stress. And when I had my office, that's one of the first things I used to ask my clients that would come in, how do you handle your stress? And I'd say probably 92% of them didn't know how to handle their stress. And they would say, nobody ever asked me that question. That's an important question for somebody to ask.
Yeah.
Because it's a very important question for you as a person who's investing in yourself to realize that it is important on how you handle your stress. What are you going to do? Are you going to meditate? Are you going to go for a walk? Are you going to do yoga? Are you going to go sing as if nobody's listening or dance as if nobody's watching?
Rocking the chair.
Rocking in the chair. Find something. Go graze through the bookstore. I did that a couple days ago. On Mother's Day, after I dropped Jacob off, it was wonderful. I went through the bookstore and just looking around, was looking at some of the books, you know, just got lost in literature. I love doing that. Absolutely love doing that, especially after chasing Jacob all around Lewis Ginter, you know, and pushing him in the stroller. That's strenuous, and I had to do something for myself and invest in myself and my own health. And it is so important for you, friends, to invest. Am I right, Ray J? To invest in yourself and do something for you, not for anybody else.
Right.
Stop your world, get off the train, and go do something for you, because that's important. And speaking of something for you, one of my colleagues, Aubrey Eicher, has a business called Richmond-Wellness, and she is helping people with their health and confidence, and she's got this program, Health and Confidence in Your Own Skin This Summer and Beyond. It's a 12-week program to sustainable lifestyle change with exercise, nutrition, and lifestyle coaching, and she can do this also online or through Zoom. So if you don't live in our area, give her a call, get in touch with her. Her website is richmond-wellness.com, and her phone number is 804-367-3589. That's 804-367-3589. She is my personal coach, and she keeps me rocking and rolling. So if you are ready to go rocking and rolling because you got up and went, you might want to give her a call. Truly, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, when I got home from California, I was struggling with the get up and go because it wasn't there, you know, and I kept being assertive. I don't like to use the word push. So I kept being assertive. Okay, Marilyn, my thing was, you can do it. If you have that you can do it attitude in your head, you can get things done. Sometimes when I'm downtown and I have to parallel park, it's like, okay, Marilyn, you can. I mean, it sounds stupid, but
but you have to.
You have to know how to parallel park in our town if you want to go downtown, you know, or out in Carytown. So I do this. Okay, Marilyn, you can do it. When I was out in California a couple times before, when my son left me his car to use, I had to go on the 405. Well, that's a crazy freeway. That makes the Beltway around Washington, D.C. look like nothing. And,
Right.
before I would get on there, it's like, okay, Marilyn, you can do it. If you have that you can do it attitude, man, you can do anything.
Absolutely.
You'll get out so far out of your comfort zone, you won't know how to get back, but that'll be okay because you can do it, right?
Exactly.
Like when I started doing that radio show with you in Dallas. Okay, Marilyn, you can do it.
When you started this show.
When I started this show.
Yes.
Okay, Marilyn, you can do it. You have to have that you can do it attitude. And then when Ray J said to me one day, your viewers want to see you. It's like, really? Do you know, Ray J, I was doing them in my PJs. And then when when nobody could see me, right? I was doing it on the phone in my PJs. And then she said one day, she says, well, Marilyn, they want to see you. It's like, really? Then I had to get dressed, It's like, okay.
We started putting you out there.
I know, they did.
The numbers just went crazy because people want to be able to connect.
That's right.
Build relationships.
And in this society, we've become so visual with technology. Everything is a video. And even with the internet radio station, most recently, KOVLradio.com. So that's a shout out to our station. We had to start understanding that it wasn't so much about listenership as it was about viewership.
Right.
It wasn't an either or. And we had to start doing more video. So people engage more when they can see you.
Right.
And not only that, but they connect more. You're more relatable. And they almost feel as if they
know you.
Have a human factor.
Yeah.
Right.
You're not just this voice that's out there.
Right.
You can actually see you on the radio now.
And this has been a transition because for me, I've done Josie's Inspiration on Blog Talk for probably 13 years, and it's always been like you in my pajamas.
In your PJs,
in my comfort zone, because it was easy to be comfortable because nobody could see you. And so to be able to transition, there's a vulnerability. But there's a reward in accomplishing something that you're doing that's different. So, there'll be a whole new phase for Josie's Inspiration come this summer.
That's good. So get me on your radio show.
I will, but it's gonna totally it's gonna change from what it has been. So I've been waiting to see, okay, what's next. So my son is working on what's next for me.
Oh, that's good. That's good. He's awesome. By the way, I hope your son is doing okay.
He is. He's doing good. He's got an awesome wife at home to look after him.
That's good.
Who is dear to my heart.
There you go. And having family around you is so important to keep you healthy, to keep you balanced. We all have dysfunction in our family, we all do, but
you can't pick your family.
You can't pick your family, so you got to learn to get used to them, get around them, make them happy. I just finished,
not.
All right, but
make yourself happy.
I just finished the rewrites of my book for the second time. I've got a new cover. I've got a new subtitle. I've got new people that were helping me, and it's sitting in my the edit right now is sitting in my computer because I haven't had a chance to look at it, but we'll get it out next week, and I can't wait. And what I do, because the main title of my book is called Be Amazing, the subtitle is positive results are just a leap away, because I have this lady on the cover that's leaping with a backpack on, and she's out in the mountain. Oh, it's a way cool.
You changed the subtitle?
Oh, yeah, I changed the subtitle. Yeah,
because I was thinking of the other one.
No, it's powerful. It's positive results are just a leap away.
Oh, I like that.
And I looked at the new cover I had. It's like, oh my goodness, I've got to do something with leap in it because she's leaping. So that'll be out next week. So I'll hopefully have that in my hand, or at least a copy of it, next Thursday.
Awesome.
So we'll be cool. And I'm going to have a book launch, and I'm a member of a networking group. I'm a member of a couple networking groups, and one of the networking groups is called Richmond Network Dr. RVA, and we meet every other Friday. And I was talking to the gal today, and she says, well, we're just going to do a book launch for your book at our networking event. It's like, well, that works for me.
Yeah.
And I'm going to talk about motivation and how to stay amazing. And, when I go out to the grocery store, or I'm leaving an office building or something, I always say, be amazing. And they look at me like, okay. Some of them say, I'll try. And this lady today, I said, so be amazing when I left this meeting this afternoon. And she says, well, I'll try. And I said, no, like Yoda says, don't try, do.
Yeah. Be does not mean, it's not conditional. It's an action word.
Right.
Yeah.
So be amazing. Just do it. So
Exactly.
don't try.
Exactly.
Don't try.
No,
Try's not in my vocabulary.
Trying is dying. I was just told by someone, trying is dying.
Right.
So you just do it.
Just do it.
And it's a conscious decision, and it's on purpose.
Right.
So you do it because you're consciously aware and you're showing up in your own life in order to get it done. Someone sent me a question and said, what do you do about the guilty that you feel when you take time for yourself? How do you overcome the guilty?
I don't feel guilty.
You just don't feel guilty about it.
No, you don't. You throw that guilt out the window. You know, if you have to meditate, what I tell people, and I've talked about this in my book, when you meditate, it's hard to start meditating right away if you've never meditated. So if you close your eyes and anything that's coming into your head, I put it in a jet and send it off. Now, other people, they might want to put it in a race car. They might want to put it in a rocket ship. I put it in the fastest vehicle I can put it in to get rid of it. I don't feel guilty about taking care of myself. I do not feel guilty about going to my acupuncturist or going to get a massage or, going for a walk or especially going to play with my grandkids. Yeah. I don't feel guilty about that at all. Earlier this week, I picked up my youngest daughter and Isaac, and we went and we rode the train up at the mall. Not once, we did it twice. And in between, he was playing in the play area. We had a great time. 4 hours together. That was great. Time for him to take a nap. Life is good.
Sometimes I think if people can identify where does that guilt come from, and often the guilt comes from being a people pleaser and putting too much emphasis on what people think about us. And I think when we do that, if we can pull back and have a sense of self-love and self-appreciation, then we understand the value of who we are, and we don't go to that place where other people's opinions weigh more than our own assessment for ourselves.
Right.
Well, the way that I ended up getting over feeling guilty, I remember one day I took myself to movies, and the boys at the time, they were younger. At that time, my husband was working, and I said, I'm going to take myself to the movies for a change and see a movie that I want to see. And the whole time I sat there, I kept looking at my watch and wondering if somebody was going to, at the time, there were pagers. We didn't have the cell phone technology at that time. So I had a pager, and I'm looking at my pager and I'm wondering if somebody's going to page me. And in the middle of the movie, I said, stop it.
That's right.
I had to tell myself to stop it. No one is going to die because you came to a movie.
That's right. Life will go on.
You won't be able to get there to take care of an emergency. So they'll be in the best possible hands until you get there. And your husband is a whole grown man. He can take care of himself or whatever it is that he needs to do. Enjoy the movie. And I sat there and I enjoyed the movie. I was glad that I went. I don't do it often enough. So that's something else that I need to do and not wait on other people or feel guilty if I go and they can't go. So I've learned to get over myself. And I think that that's the other thing that we have to do to learn about balance in order to be well is to get over yourself and get out of your own way. You can only do so much for so many, and that includes yourself.
Right. You know what? I have a friend, Lisa Hazel, and she's having a workshop on June 2nd from 10:30 to 12:30. And she also does emotion code, which helps. She has a program which she helps get emotions out of people that are suppressed. They don't even know about it. She has a formula and everything, and it's very helpful. She's done it for me before, and I just feel so wonderful afterwards. And she's having a workshop now because she's really focusing on not only the emotion code but people's energy and the bioenergetics of questions that people might have. And she's got this workshop called How Can We Raise Our Vibrational Energy? And this is a great place to start if you're interested in learning more about your vibrational energy, because we all have energy. Some people have negative energy, some people have positive energy. I like to hang around people with positive energy. The negative energy, it hurts me. I get flu-like symptoms. I don't want to be around those people. They either got to get their act together or, they're done. And it's so important to make sure that you're around people that are of the same vibrational energy that you are, positive, their positive energy with your positive energy. And she's having this workshop. It's June 2nd from 10:30 to 12:30, and it's at Resonance down on Sycamore Square. So it's for people who are local. It's on the south side off of Midlothian. Sycamore Square is a great shopping area. It doesn't look like shops. They look like a neighborhood. They're all homes, and it's just way cool. So it's a great thing to learn. It's a great way to start your vibrational.
Marilyn?
They can call her at 804-539-3251. That's 804-539-3251, or get in touch with her at Lisa@lisahealthy.com. That's how you can get in touch with her.
Awesome.
So, or she's friends of mine on Facebook. You can private message her, become her friend. She would really love that. But she's really, and she does this emotion code, and the emotion code is awesome. So if you are interested in releasing through emotions that have probably been suppressed in your mind and your body since you were a kid, and you don't even know they're there, and all of a sudden they're gone, and it's way cool how she does it. She's got this great formula, and she's a great gal, and she wants to help everybody. She wants to help raise the vibrational energy of everybody, to help everybody realize that they can be what they want to be, and
to reach their best potential.
That's right. And stop the pity parties,
Absolutely.
I don't have room in my life for pity parties. I don't.
Every now and then, if you need to have, 15 minutes of woe is me, but, acknowledge it. I'm going to take this time, and I'm going to be at this place, but at the end of this time, I'm out of that. Because sometimes people need to go to a place where they can recognize what they're feeling so that they can come out of it and know how it feels different.
Yeah, well,
not necessarily a pity party, but, sometimes you just need a moment of...
a regroup.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need to regroup. I mean, I've had to regroup before,
I regroup often.
Yeah, but I don't have a 15-minute pity party. That's too long for me, because time you don't get back, Joes. Once you use it, it's gone. You can get a lot of things back, but time, you can't get that back.
No, but you got to give yourself whatever you need.
That's right. That's right.
It's that whole refresh, relax, relate, release, and repeat.
And rejuvenate.
Reignite.
Exactly.
It's really important to make sure you rejuvenate what's going on in your body, because that'll also help get your body balanced. You're having things on your calendar helps you with balance. Making sure you're eating properly. Next week, my son talked me into going to an allergist, because sometimes when I'm eating out, I get sick, and I don't know what ingredients they've put on in the back of the house. It might say, oh, we've done salmon, because I love salmon, I eat it out. But it might be the sauce that's on there, and they might have put something in the sauce that sets me off. I can set my clock to it. I know that's TMI, but I know you all have probably have had that problem before. And my son said, Mom, you've got to go to an allergist. You got to make an appointment to go to an allergist. So I said, okay. And I made an appointment with an allergist, and the day is a week from tomorrow. And it is a 4 to 6 hour appointment.
Oh, yeah. It's testing.
It's a lot of testing, and it starts at 7:15 in the morning. I'm glad I'm only 8 minutes from the place. So I'll just get up, run around in a shower and put some clothes on and leave. So, but I'm doing that, and the reason why I'm doing that is because I'm to the point where if I order something or if I get takeout at home, what's it going to do to me? Mm-hmm. You know, I have food. I obviously have food allergies. My son found out he's allergic to eggs. Well, you know how many things they put eggs in? It's amazing.
And there's so many additives and things with the GMOs and that we don't even know what's in our food. So, you know, and it's hard to look at the menu now and say, even if it says non-GMO or if it says, you know, organic, what else is there? You know, is it in the preparation?
Right. And I don't know what they're doing in the back of the house. You know, you don't know what's happening in the back of the house. I've worked in a restaurant before, and the back of the house is a whole lot more chaotic than the restaurant itself, you know?
I've heard stories about the back of the restaurant.
And, you know, and bringing up the nutrition factor for wellness and balance is important, too. I saw a news story, actually today, that discussed the more healthy you are in life as you are eating, your brain is actually larger and more active than those who did not have a healthier diet growing up, whose brain actually shrunk. And that's where a lot of the dementia will set in, the Alzheimer's, the, you know, senility, all of those mind things that take place, forgetfulness, being off balance with your gait, the way that, because food is supposed to be nutrition and it's supposed to nurture and feed not only our body but our brain.
Our minds.
And I think we forget about that with everything being convenient, everything being a fast food or a microwave society that we've turned into. No one wants to take the time to prepare fresh food, real food,
right,
for a real person, a body that needs to be sustained like that.
Yeah.
I don't even own a microwave anymore.
You don't? Mm-mm. Well, we have
Having had cancer, I don't do microwave.
I'm sure.
Don't do microwave.
I'm sure.
If I'm in someone's house.
I need not to do them either. I do a lot of cooking anyway. I do more cooking. So I don't have to do as much anymore. Oh, I'm so glad about that.
But the oven and the cooking, it teaches us patience.
More meals in the oven.
Yes.
Than I do in trying to heat up things in the microwave.
Yeah. And it doesn't take that long. I mean, people think, oh, the oven, but, you know, it really doesn't take that long to heat up something in the oven.
When you put something in the oven and you put the timer on, you can go get something else done. Yeah. Like when I want to do whatever, but I need to get wash done, I'm multitasking. I'm getting my wash done, but I'm doing something else. And sometimes it might be even resting and taking a nap. You know, but I'm doing something because the washer's running or the dryer's running, or better yet, both of them are running, which is way cool. So, and my husband's over there laughing at me, but it's true, you know, it's, you get, when you get things done like that, when you put things in the oven, you can turn the timer on or put them in the crock pot or whatever you've got.
Read a chapter while you're heating up your food.
Right.
Write a chapter while you're heating up your food.
Yeah. So, you know, there's ways, and there's ways that you out there can use your time wisely and multitask without going out of your way to go crazy multitasking like we did when we were young moms. You know.
I mean, I attribute my cancer diagnosis to the stress. I remember just before I got my diagnosis, running down the stairs on my way to work. I worked a 16 to 18-hour day in social services, and I remember running down the stairs and I was singing that song, "I can bring home the bacon and fry it up in the pan, never let you forget you're the man." And I got to the bottom of the steps and I was like, but why do I want to do that? You know, why do I want to become the woman and the man when you have a man? But even why do you want to try to wear all the hats? You know, learn to let someone else do something.
Delegate authority.
Yeah, and I learned to stop when people would say, "Can I help you?" and say, "Oh, no, I've got this." I now say, "Yes, I'll accept the help." You know, because I don't want to block anyone else's blessings, but also I don't want to overwhelm myself. And what a blessing when you get to have help. People feel good when they're helping others. And so, you know, but that stress, I know I contributed directly to my cancer diagnosis because I was going nonstop between church and PTA and committees and organizations and job and wife and mother and, you know, and I thought I had it going on. But
yeah,
it was wearing me down.
It was wearing you down.
It was wearing me down.
And now what I do, I just maybe put 2 things on my plate to do during the day to go out or whatever, and sometimes I don't even have one thing,
and sometimes I just say none of it.
Right. And I just stay home and I'm doing things here. On Monday, I was waiting for my editor to send my book back to me. And what I decided to do, I went in one of my closets and I started getting things out. And I had 4 shopping bags of different things. Most of them were shoes. For Zen to take up to the Goodwill. And I said, just get rid of them. I haven't worn them. I do the 6-month and 12-month rule. If I haven't worn it, said hello to it, put it on, whatever. It's still in my closet. I forget it's there. It goes out because obviously I do not need it. You might want to try the 6 to 12-month rule. Somebody said to me one day, they said, well, I do the 7-year rule. It's like, really?
I just turn the hangers around backwards.
Oh, do you?
On things that I haven't worn. And if it stays backwards, then I know, oh, this has got to go. It's time. Let it go.
Now when I buy something, if I put it in with a tag, I'm starting to put the date on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I leave the tag on and put the date on it. Because if I do that.
Interesting.
And I haven't looked at it for a while, said hello, picked it up, tried it on, whatever. It's going out. It's going out. So and I got clothes.
We have to value our time.
That's right.
And make the things that are important priority.
That's right.
With 2 home businesses, I found that, okay, how do I keep a balance between these 2? And so I've had to give them their own individual days. And for my events, I alternate them. So for instance, this weekend I'm doing Damsel, and this is a Damsel weekend. The first weekend is a Soul Purpose weekend. But I love them both, and I wouldn't take one over the other. But I can't do them both at the same time. Yeah,
that's your balance. I mean, my daughter's real good at balance. She's a Libra, of course. She's real good at balance.
I'm not a Libra. I'm a Gemini, so it's which one are you working with right now?
Yeah, really.
Who do you have at the moment?
So, Ray J, we've got 10 minutes. My husband says we have 10 minutes left. This has gone fast.
Wow, this went by fast.
Time flies when you're having fun.
It does. He's my timekeeper over there because I can't always see the clock. So he tells me what's going on, thank goodness. So how can they get in touch with you? And tell them a little bit about your radio station, KOLV.com. Is that it?
KOVL.
Oh, KOVL. I thought I had it dyslexic. Okay. KOVL.com. How can they find you on KOVL.com?
Okay, so if you go to our website, which is KOVLradio.com, our radio website will come up. We are an internet radio station. We have programming 24/7, meaning also including music. So we have talk shows. We have shows that will discuss sports and music. We have my drive time show that I'm actually giving over to a new personality that's coming. Shouts out to Leandra Green, who is going to do Matters of the Heart. That is going to be really good at the drive time on Monday. We have Monday Motivation with Energy. Her show is on 10 until 2. And then we have Agree to Disagree on Tuesday. We have the Easy Treatment Lounge and Private Times with Bobby Boucher. They're on Monday through Thursday. We've got 2 new Sunday shows. Take Me to Church is our morning inspirational edification show, and More with Mary will start this Sunday. So I'm excited about that. And then Divine Borders is a new show that's going to be coming, working with young girls that have been broken and abused and need healing. So I wanted to give a platform and a voice to that particular demographic of young women, to have a show that would speak to them and edify them and help them to come up out of some of those dark places that they may be. So as you can see, we have a lot of shows. We focus on relationships also. So Friday Forum on Relationship, she does a show and it talks about from the biblical standpoint. And she also uses the fact that She came from a broken marriage. And what she learned from her ex-husband and how she had to heal herself so that she could move on. So it's not a show where the ex is put out there to be bashed. No. She talks about what she had learned to be as a woman, married, and what she needed to learn and what men are needing in their marital relationships from their wives. So I love the perspective that she's coming from. All of that is listed. You could go to kovlradio.com. You can email me at kovlradio@gmail.com. You can reach me on Facebook, Ray J. Johnson. I also have a public page, Lady Ray J. Johnson, and Ray J is RAEJ. You can also email me at kovlradio@gmail.com. My telephone number, 314-641-9200, is a textable number. So you can text me, and you'll be able to find me on Instagram at Johnson Ray J. And I rarely use my Twitter, so I don't even remember my handle. But you can find me on Twitter as well. I think I'm at one Ray J. Johnson on Twitter.
I think if they just even searched Ray J. Johnson, you'd probably come up.
You actually can Google me. I am Googleable.
Yeah, she's definitely Googleable, if that's a word, because of what she's been doing with TV and radio. And you're also on Saturday mornings with Dallas.
So I'm also on Mix 99.5 FM locally in St. Louis, but you can hear us on the web at Mix995FM.com.
There you go.
I love it.
Isn't it great? I mean, she's everywhere. She's everywhere. She's everywhere. And, you know, it was great to reconnect with her because it'd been a while, because I knew she was going through some stuff and I was busy and I was traveling and going through stuff and investing in myself and working on my book and, you know, just doing a lot of stuff. And like last week I called her up. Yes, I was enjoying life. But I called her up and I said, Ray J, you got to be on my show. You just got to be on my show. And she says, okay. So I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you had time, because I know you are a busy, busy woman, and to have time to spend an hour or so with us on Healthy Living with Marilyn and enlightening people on, yeah, you can do it, but you got to put yourself first attitude, which is the basic component of health and balance, you know, putting yourself first. Because you should come first before everybody.
Self-care is not selfish. It is not selfish.
It's not selfish.
It's self-love.
So that person who wrote about guilt, you know, don't feel guilty about it, because whoever that was, I'm telling you, do not feel guilty about taking care of yourself. Because if you do not take care of yourself, you will not be there for the loved ones who might need you later on, or your husband or your wife or one of your kids or your grandkids or your best friend, or, you know. Or yourself. Yeah. And it's important to take care of yourself, to invest in yourself, to learn something, because education is not nobody can take that away from you. Once you learn it, it's yours. And education is so important. Go read a book. You don't have money, go to the library. Get yourself a library card and go to the library. You can get books for free and borrow them for a few weeks.
You can You can get them free on Hulu.
Yeah, you can download them. Really? Okay, I'll have to look at that. Hulu. Download the Hulu app on your phone. You can read books. So, I just got my husband a Roku. For the TV. We haven't really done much on it, but when I was out in California, my son was telling me all about Roku. He gave me the remote and he says, here, Mom, here you go. Watch what you want. It's like, I don't even know what I'm supposed to be doing. You know, and he walks out and it's like, what the heck is this? I don't know what I'm doing. He says, just press the buttons. You'll figure it out. And I did. And I did. So, you know.
I want to, before we go, I want to give one more shout out to twins, and this is kind of rare. I actually have two radio personalities that are twin sisters.
Wow.
And they have a show called The Twins Are In. And they are very good at balancing one another. They're very comical, but they balance one another. And they're on Saturdays, usually every other Saturday, and they highlight businesses. So it is possible for everyone out there that is listening and watching to be a part of the KOVL radio family as a guest by getting in touch with us. We also do promotions and advertising. So if you text to the number I gave you, 314-641-9200, promo package, then our sales department can get in touch with you and actually customize a package for your advertising or your promotion.
Yeah, I'd like to be
able to do that.
Yeah, I'd like
to do that.
I want to talk to you about being a guest on whatever you want me to be a guest on. You know? That would be fun. I'm going to try to catch your show on, now you're at Central Time, so you start 8 o'clock Central Time, so you're 9 o'clock Eastern Time.
Correct.
Right. Okay, because St. Louis, friends, is in Central Time. They're an hour behind us. So Ray J still has another hour before she has to go to bed, which is really good. You know, my husband at the end is always waving bye-bye. He cracks me up, you know. So I want to thank all of you and Ray J and my wonderful friend here, Josie.
Josie, you will
shine. And you'll be back, girlfriend.
I'll be checking you out some more, Ray J. We'll connect.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I want to thank you for joining us this evening and learning more about health and balance and how to keep yourself balanced and not get wonky or whatever. And get touch with us next week. Thank you, Ray J, so much for being on. I appreciate it. Love you, girlfriend. Stay on for after the show for a little bit.
And thank you, Marilyn, for the thank you gifts.
Oh, you're welcome. I love you. And we will talk to you next week. And remember, be amazing. You are amazing, Joes.